What's up everybody, another beautiful day in the Dragonflight, and today I'll be going over the Elementalist build for raids going into the new raid Amirdrassil. For newer players, the Elementalist build or builds offer great versatility as we're able to shift a point here and there to tailor our build to target count, single target, 3 target cleave, 6 target AoE, more funnel, meaning we can use all the resources we get from AoE into a single mob. So it's extremely versatile as long as you know how it works. There's also been a lot of updates to our talents and abilities going into 10.2, and I have videos out covering all of our changes, how they impact us, as well as how our new tier set bonus works. So I recommend checking those out if you want to know more. Now with that out of the way, let's go over the main build, the backbone. So we get all the Lava Lash talents, Molten Assault so that we can spread and refresh Flame Shock with Lava Lash, also reduces its cooldown. Then we get Hot Hand for those spicy empowered Lava Lashes. When it procs, it reduces Lava Lash cooldown by 75% and it increases its damage by 40% for 8 seconds. Ashen Catalyst increases Lava Lash damage and cooldown reduction per Flame Shock target, so it scales with multiple targets and is partially where we get our funnel damage from. More targets, more Lava Lashes. Lashing Flame, Lava Lash increases the damage of Flame Shock on its target by 100% for 20 seconds. Due to this talent, when there's multiple targets, you want to cycle between targets on every Lava Lash to keep this debuff up. Now if the ads will die fast and don't care about this, we then get improved Raging and Overflowing Maelstrom, increasing our Maelstrom spender damage, and we can have and spend up to 10 stacks of Maelstrom rather than 5, so our spenders slap harder and gives us some more wiggle room in our rotation. Then we have the Holy Trinity, Ice Strike, Hailstorm, and Swirling Maelstrom. Ice Strike increases your next Frost Shock damage by 100%, and Hailstorm increases your next Frost Shock damage by 15% per Maelstrom spent, so up to 150% more damage. It also increases targets hit by Frost Shock by up to 5 for a total of 6 targets. Combined with Swirling Maelstrom, Ice Strike generates 1 Maelstrom, and consuming 2 Hailstorm stacks on a Frost Shock generates 1 Maelstrom as well. So this helps a lot with overall Maelstrom generation on single targets. This combo is overall great for single target and pretty insane for AoE. A big portion of our AoE and cleave damage is from these Frost Shock, as anytime you spend Maelstrom, you'll be able to fire off an empowered Frost Shock, and every other Frost Shock will be empowered by Ice Strike as well. Ooh. We also get Wind Fury Totem to help the raid group and buff ourselves with it, but mostly for the lucky Wind Fury group.
I have the biggest gain? No, it's me.
Then we have Sundering, which should only be taken if you're still using tier from Aberus, so tier 30. If you don't have tier 30, don't talent into Sundering. We then get Elemental Weapons, 5% Fire, Frost, and Nature damage per weapon imbue, meaning you have to have both Flame Tongue and Wind Fury. We then get Feral Spirit with Witch Doctor's Ancestry and Elemental Spirits. Witch Doctor increases our Maelstrom generation, but more importantly, Maelstrom generated reduces Feral Spirit cooldown by 2 seconds per Maelstrom spent, giving us an insane uptime on Wolfies. An Elemental Spirit, each wolf increases either Frost, Fire, or Nature damage by 20%, hence the Elementalist part. But an important interaction to remember is Elemental Blast gets buffed by any Elemental Wolf, be it Fire, Frost, or Nature, so you always get a 40% damage increase to Elemental Blast during your Wolfies, or actually 44% since it's multiplicative. Oh, and the new tier gives us an extra wolf, so 66% damage increase, so even more damn. And this is something you actively try to utilize. You ideally never want to cast Elemental Blast if you don't have a wolf out, or multiple. And we of course also get Elemental Blast. Slaps insanely hard and buffs us. To help sustain this and make us literally drown in Maelstrom, we also put 2 points into Elemental Assault, which in 10.2 gives you a 50% chance per point to gain 1 Maelstrom whenever you Storm Strike, Lava Lash, or Ice Strike. This glorious buff means that we'll never be Maelstrom starved again, and fitting 2 fully stacked Elemental Blast in every wolf window becomes very easy. Ice Strike already generates 1 Maelstrom due to Swirling Maelstrom, then an extra one from Elemental Assault, and then you Frost Shock for a 3rd one. Lastly, we have Primordial Wave with Primal Maelstrom and Splintered Elements. In 10.2, Primordial Wave itself deals a ton of damage, it applies Flame Shock, and it empowers your next Lightning Bolt to deal 150% increased damage and hit all targets with Flame Shock up, so up to 6 targets. And due to Primal Maelstrom, you get 10 Maelstrom whenever you press Primordial Wave, which also reduces Wolfie cooldown due to Witch Doctor's ancestry. And you also get 20% haste from Primordial Wave, plus 4% per target hit by Lightning Bolt from this due to Splintered Elements. So even on full pure single target, you get 20% haste for 12 seconds, and with the new tier, Primordial Wave only has on average 24-second cooldown, down from 45. So yeah, tons and tons of haste as well as extra Maelstrom generation, and a very smooth rotation. And a few fights in the new raid, we might want to run Crash Lightning, and we can easily move a point from Elemental Assault for Crash if needed. Now with that said, let's break down the rotation, starting off with the single target breakdown. You want to cast Primordial Wave on cooldown, Flame Shock if it's not active, Feral Spirit on cooldown, Lava Lash if Hot Hand is active, Wind Fury Totem if it's not out, Elemental Blast at 5+ Maelstrom if you have 2 charges of it, Lightning Bolt if you're at 8 or more stacks of Maelstrom and the Primordial Wave buff is active, Elemental Blast at 8+ Maelstrom and Feral Spirits are active, Lightning Bolt at 10 Maelstrom, Ice Strike, Frost Shock if you have Hailstorm stacks, Lava Lash, Storm Strike, Sundering, Lightning Bolt with 5 or more Maelstrom to generate Hailstorm, Crash Lightning, and then you can refresh Flame Shock or Wind Fury if nothing else is available. I usually refresh Totem or Earth Shield. Now, first of all, don't look at this prior order and think this is the order you press stuff in. You can look at it more as a checklist, if you will. If you have every single thing available, what should your next global be? So for example, when I say Elemental Blast at 5 Maelstrom if you have 2 charges of it, and then I say Lightning Bolt at 8 or more stacks, that just means if you have 2 charges of Elemental Blast, it has a higher priority than Lightning Bolt. However, if you only have 1 charge of Elemental Blast, Lightning Bolt goes higher up. But if you activate Feral Spirit, Elemental Blast goes higher up. So whenever something is on cooldown, what you should press changes. If something like Hot Hand procs or Stormbringer, what should you press? And you just kinda go down the list. So an opener for this on a raid boss would be Precast Wind Fury Totem. This is with the new tier set. Primordial Wave as you run to boss into Feral Spirit. Lava Lash, then Elemental Blast since you're at 2 charges. Ice Strike into Frost Shock for a big chunk of Maelstrom generation, then Lightning Bolt when you're at 8+ Maelstrom, which consumes Primordial Wave so you get that big haste buff, and then you Elemental Blast again before your Wolfies run out. Now sometimes if procs are with us during Bloodlust and things like that, we can generate enough Maelstrom to get a second set of wolves out before the first one has run away. And if it looks like that will happen, you want to fire off an Elemental Blast when you have quad wolves out for some extra big slaps. One thing to keep in mind with the new tier set, our Primordial Wave and our Feral Spirit will often not line up. Most cases you'll get wolves back before Primordial Wave. Now if there's just a few seconds left on Primordial Wave, hold Feral Spirits. But if it's like 8-10+ seconds left, then you send Feral Spirit to get Primordial Wave back due to the new tier set. But more often than not, rotation is just building up Maelstrom with Lava Lash, Ice Strike and Frost Shock, occasionally Storm Strike, spend an Elemental Blast during wolves, Lightning Bolt otherwise. And then you just repeat that. And if a boss spawns adds, you want to of course try and spread Flame Shock on him and cleave him with Frost Shock and pad with Primordial Wave for extra haste. And lastly, I really recommend the addon Hekili. It is a rotation helper add-on and it shows you what you should be pressing next, and it is very accurate. So it's incredibly helpful for players who are new to enhancement to help put the rotation priority into play. So if you're struggling with the Elementalist rotation, try Hekili and see if you improve.
Can only get better.
And as far as stats goes, because everyone always asks anyways, Mastery, Haste, sim yourself. Elementalist build tends to want Mastery over Haste, but depending on how much you have of either, you might favor crit, you might favor Haste, sim yourself. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this build guide for the Elementalist raid build. Let me know what y'all think of these guides. Any info you feel is missing, let me know. And if you want to dig even deeper into everything Enhancement Shaman, I greatly recommend reading Word Word Up's Wowhead or Icy Vein Bible for enhancement, as most of this is based off that, and he goes a lot more in-depth into, well, everything. Also, huge shout out to Leylana from the Shaman Discord for their help with the script. Thank you so much. Now, if you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments below or become a patron, Twitch sub, or YouTube member and get access to the Stankie Gaming Discord, where you can get help with anything enhancement or PvE related. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.